So, Hare Krishna, dear devotees, thank you very much for joining us today. I'd like to seek your good wishes and your blessings so that we can continue with our topic of Manjaris. And please, our spiritual master and Srila Prabhupada, the Guru Parampara, Radha Krishna, Gaunitai. So, this is a wonderful spiritual master. He's a spiritual master of Srila Prabhupada. His name is Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. So there are actually three Prabhupads in this parampara. Right? There's our own Prabhupada, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Then there's this Prabhupada, who is Bhakti Siddhanta Swami, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. And then there's also Rupa Goswami. He's known as Prabhupada as well. So there's three Prabhupads. So he was the inspiration. He gave the instruction to Srila Prabhupada to preach the Hare Krishna movement, philosophy in the West. And because of him, Srila Prabhupada came to the West. And whenever Prabhupada was given the credit for what he had done, he would just say, "It is all due to the mercy of my spiritual master." So in this way, Prabhupada is extraordinarily humble, and he's always grateful to his spiritual master. So this is the idea. We should always be grateful to our spiritual guru, because ourselves, we can't really do much. But by the potency of the order of the Guru, then anything is possible. So I wanted to talk about him because we just wanted to put the Manjari that we're discussing into context. And Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, he wanted devotees to understand that Radhika is the most powerful amongst all the gopis, non-different from Krishna, and that in order to become her maidservant, we have to become Rupanugas. Rupanugas means the servants of Rupa Manjari. So, and we talked about Rupa Manjari a few days ago. He's Sri Krishna's Priya Narma Sakhas, the cowherd boyfriends, like Shubhal and Sridham. They also were very much inclined to serving Srimati Radharani. They were very pleased when Radha and Krishna would meet. And they would be the Sakhas who would facilitate the relationship between Radha and Krishna, and also Chandravali and Krishna, just to enhance the rasa, the enjoyment of Krishna. But Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, he was very, very inclined towards Srimati Radhika in the mood of Rupanuga's sampradaya. He was Rupanuga. He wanted to distribute the idea of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that we want to be servants of Rupa Goswami, Rupa Manjari, so that we can serve Radha and Krishna, and not Chandravali and others who are a little different mood from Radharani, although an expansion of Radharani. So this is just to increase the enjoyment that Lord Krishna has. In fact, there's one pastime with Raghunath Das Goswami. He was very austere. He used to just drink a little bit of buttermilk. And on one occasion, somebody brought a big leaf and gave this leaf to Raghunath Das Goswami, who's, I think, Rati Manjari. We'll find that out in a few minutes. And Raghunath Das Goswami, he offered it and he drank it. And then he looked at the leaf and he said, "This leaf is a little big. Where did you get this leaf from? I haven't seen a leaf like this before." This devotee wanted to obviously give him a lot of buttermilk. So the devotee said, "I got it from that kunj." And Raghunath Das Goswami said, well, that's the Kunj of Chandravali. Why did you do that? Why did you bring that leaf to me? And he threw away the leaf. So their mood was like that. They were completely in the mood of Radha consciousness. And anything to do with any other gopi competitor with Krishna, they would not entertain it. So his idea was to preach Rupa Nuga Bhakti. Actually, it was not to preach it, for Rupa Nuga is not preached. His idea was to inspire devotees for this service to Srimati Radhika. So towards the end of his time, at the end of his manifest stay in this world, so he passed away from this world, I think 1935, at the end of 1935, wasn't it? 1st of January, I think 1936 maybe. He told his followers, I could not do this, so I'm unhappy, this mood of Rupa Nuga. You should all gather and come under the shelter of Ashraya Tattva, the principle of pure devotee, the reservoir of love for Krishna. Who is Ashraya Tattva? Guru is Ashraya Tattva. Living in such shelter, you should serve the divine couple, Shri Shri Radha and Krishna, under the guidance of Rupa Manjari. This was the root motive for all his activities, to give to this world. So in the last sort of days of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, these are the memories of Sridhar Swami. Sridhar Swami is godbrother of Srila Prabhupada. They were very good friends. So in the last days, for some time, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati told us his heart was damaged, and then some sort of treatment by Kaviraj and other party that was arranged. But gradually he became weaker and weaker. October of 36, it's 36, he went to Puri along with some of us to Pushottam Math. There was one sand hill there. He lived there in a bungalow. So many of us went with him. He was very fond of hearing that slok of Raghunath Das Goswami. Nijane Katim Vasam. Every day that would be sung before him. And Shri Rupa Manjari Pada Se Mora Sampada. This song was sung by Yajavara Maharaj. And then after a month, he went back to Calcutta. Then we left with the party for Kathak for some collection. But then we got some information that his health was breaking down day by day. So we came to Calcutta. Then while coming back to Calcutta, we found it was very stingy winter, cold winter, and treatment was going on. In spite of that, his health did not improve. We performed our duty at his sick bed. I was amongst them. My duty was from 2 o'clock at night to 4 o'clock. So 2 till 4 in the early morning. And thus 24 hours before his departure, he called for me and asked me to sing a song. Shri Rupa Manjari Padase Mura Sampada. This famous song, which is supposed to be the highest realization of any Gaudiya Vaishnava devotee. So the fact that we are getting the opportunity through Mataji Karuna Bandar to sing this bhajan is actually a great, great benediction. We're very, very fortunate. So I'd like to ask Mataji, please, if you'd like to sing this song.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Shri Rupa Manjari Pada Shri Mora Sampada 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 Shri Mora Bhajana Pujana से मोरा भजन पूजन श्री रूप मंजरी पद से मोरा संपद श्री रूप मंजरी पद से मोरा संपद श्री मोरा प्राणधन श्री मोरा अभरण श्री मोरा प्राणधन श्री मोरा अभरण श्री मोर जीवेरा जीवान श्री मोर जीवेरा जीवान श्री रूप मंजरी पद से मोर संपद श्री मोरा रासायनिधि श्री मोरा वंश सिद्धि श्री मोरा रासायनिधि श्री मोरा वंश सिद्धि श्री मोर वृदेरा धरा श्री मोर वृदेरा धरा श्री व्रत श्री तप श्री मंत्र जप श्री व्रत श्री तप श्री मंत्र जप श्री मोर धर्म करान श्री मोर धर्म करान अनुकूल हबे विधि श्री पदे होइबे सिद्धि अनुकूल हबे विधि श्री पदे होइबे सिद्धि निरखिबो ए दुई नयने निरखिबो ए दुई नयने श्री रूप मधुरी राशि प्राण कुवलय शशि श्री रूप मधुरी राशि प्राण कुवलय शशि प्रफुल्लित हबे निशि प्रफुल्लित हबे निशि तुई दर्शनाहि गरले जरलो देहि तुई दर्शनाहि गरले जरलो देहि चिरोदिन तपिता जीवान चिरोदिन तपिता जीवान आहार पकरो दया देह pada chaya ha ha rupa karo doya deha mari pada chaya narutamalo sharana narutamalo sharana Shri Rupa Manjari Pada Shri Mura Sampada Shri Rupa Manjari Pada Shri Mura Sampada Shri Mura Bhajana Puja Shri Mura Bhajana Pujana Shri Rupa Manjari Pada Shri Mura Sampada Shri Rupa Manjari Pada Shri Mura Sampada Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Jai.
Jai Gautranandi Hari Bol
Thank you.
Nilakam Das Thakur ki Jai Shri Rupa Goswami ki Jai Shri Rupa Manjari ki Jai Shri Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki Jai Shri Prabhupada ki Jai Guru Maharaj ki Jai
Thank you very
Hare
much.
Krishna
Beautifully sung. Karuna Bandar ki jai. Very nice. So
Maharaj ki jai.
I wanted to ask, maybe Sanjana, are you able to speak?
Yep, sure. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, so you could read the translation. This is
Yep,
a
absolutely.
bhajan. It's a really amazing bhajan, and it's glorifying Rupa Manjari, who's very close.
Yep. Sri Rupa Manjari Pada Se Mura Sampada. Translation. The lotus feet of Sri Rupa Manjari are my treasure, my devotional service and my object of worship. They give my life meaning and they are the life of my life. They are the perfection of rasa, they are the perfection worthy of attainment. They are the very law of the Vedic scriptures for me. They are the meaning of all my fasts and penances and my silent uttering of my mantras. They are the basis of religion and activities. By the purifying process of favorable devotional service, one will attain perfection and with these two eyes be able to see. His transcendental form is shining like moonlight in my heart, and my heart therefore shines and reciprocates. In other words, the ordinary moon lights up the night, and its shine illuminates the other objects. But the moon of the effulgence of the form of Sri Rupa Manjari shines into the heart and makes the heart also shine back to the spiritual sky. This moon shines not only in the night time, but day and night. Your absence from my vision is like a dose of strong poison, and I will suffer till the end of my life. Narottam Dasa Thakura says, please give me your mercy and the shade of your lotus feet. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Sanjana. Everything okay in university?
Yeah, it's going very well. Very busy because we're all moving in now, so the house is getting like more busy.
Yes, of course. Very good. Thank you for joining us today. Huh?
Thank you.
So let's have a look. Where are we? Yes. So this is Radha Krishna and the Astasakis, and then at the bottom are the 8 principal Manjaris, and they all came as either 6 Goswamis or their associates. And then we can just do a quick revision again. Always good to do this. Now, does anybody remember any of the names of the gopis? Let's start with the close ones. Who's this on the side of Krishna? Anybody remember?
Is that Lalita?
Indeed.
Or is it the other way around?
No, you got it right. Right. And then the other one is?
Okay, good.
The other one will be?
Vishaka.
Yes. Hold on. And then who's on this side? Let's do this side then. Now I had an acronym for this. IRM. IRS, sorry. IRS. Who's that?
Indulekha.
Yeah, well done. Who's next one after that? R.
Rangadevi.
Ranga Devi. And then?
Who is this?
Devi.
Devi. Good. And then on this side, we had TCC. So who's C here?
Chandravali.
No, Chandravali is not in this group. If you said that out loud before the Goswami, you would be thrown out. Yes, good. And then next to Champaglata?
Chitra.
Good. And then the last one? T. There's only one gopi.
Tunga Devi.
T.
Tunga Devi.
Tunga Vidya. Tunga Vidya. Okay, very good. So we talked about Rupa Manjari already. And there she is serving Srimati Radharani. So let's have a look at the other 7. So Rati Manjari. in the Kunj known as Ratyambuja, the lotus of Rati, south of Induleka's Kunj, the beautiful Rati Manjari always resides. Her dress is decorated with a cluster of stars. Her body shines like lightning. She has a mild, submissive nature and is nicknamed Tulasi. Interesting. She's 13 years and 2 months old. Her father is Vrishabha and her husband is Diva and mother is Sharada. Her mother-in-law is named Sanika. Her service is fanning. They do a lot more than just that. They have multiple services, but one of the main services will be fanning. In the age of Kali, she descends as Raghunath Das Goswami. And Raghunath Das Goswami is very, very, very austere Goswami. He was even ripe old age. He used to walk around Govardhan. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said to him, "You can't do this anymore. You're too old." So he gifted him Govardhan Shila. And he said, just walk around this Govardhan 4 times. And it's like you've walked around Govardhan Hill. And that Govardhan Shila is currently being worshipped in Radha Damodar temple in Vrindavan, where Prabhupada lived. And we walk around the temple 4 times, and he says it's like doing a parikrama of Vrindavan. Of Govardhan, sorry, yeah, that's right. Thank you. Lamanga Manjari. East of Tungavidya's Kunja is the captivating grove of fair-eyed girls named Labanga Sukhada, where Sri Labanga Manjari always blissfully resides. She's 1 day older than Rupa Manjari. So who do you think this might be? Giving away. Who might this be in Gaura Lila? 1 day older. Anybody like to have a guess? Who was the brother of Rupa Goswami?
Sanatan Goswami.
Yeah, that's right. Her body shines like excellent lightning strike. Her dress is decorated with a galaxy of stars. She always delights Sri Krishna with a soft and submissive nature. Her age is 13 years, 6 months, 1 day. Her mother is named Yamuna and her father is Ratnabanu. Mother-in-law is Shushila and her husband is Mandali Bhadra. She serves all kinds of ornaments. In the present Gaur avatar, Gaur Leela, she appeared as Sanatan Goswami. That's right. So very close, always serving together. And very close, intimate service with Radha and Krishna. Then we have Ras Manjari. West of Chitra's Kunja is the Kunj named Rasanandan Pradha, where Sri Ras Manjari, who is dearer than life to Sri Rupa Manjari, always resides. Her bodily luster resembles that of champak flowers, yellow. Her dress shines like swan's wings. Because she's taken shelter of Sri Rupa Manjari, who is as qualified as Labanga Manjari, she has become the object of her great love. She is expert in different inquiries and in the duties of relaying messages. Her age is 13 and she's endowed with a soft and submissive nature. Her father is named Shubhanu and her mother is Prem Manjari. That's interesting. Her husband is Vitanka and her mother-in-law is Rambhavati. Her service is dressing. In the age of Kali, she appeared as Raghunath Bhatt Goswami. Very interesting. Gunamanjari. In the northeastern corner of Champaklata's Kunj is the beautiful Kunj named Gunananda Padha, where Sri Guna Manjari, who desires Sri Rupa Manjari's happiness, resides. Her bodily luster resembles lightning. Her dress is colored red like Java flowers. She's 3 days younger than Tulasi Manjari and always delights Sri Krishna. Her nature is Dakshina Pakhara, submissive yet harsh. Her age is 13 years, 1 month and 27 days. Her father's name is Chandrabhanu, mother's name is Yamuna. Her husband is Gobata, her mother-in-law is Taravali. Was it?
Just came across those parents.
Oh, okay. Right. Her service is making the bed. In Gauralila, she descended in the form of Sri Gopal Bhatt Goswami, very important Goswami. Let's have a look. That is different. Vilas Manjari. In the southern eastern corner of Vishakha's Kunj is the captivating grove named Vilashananda, where Vilas Manjari, who has a relationship of friendship with Rupa Manjari, is residing. With her own bodily luster, she makes all objects that face her shine like divine golden Ketaki flowers. Her dress shines like a Chancharika bee, and her mood is contrary yet mild, Vama Mritvi. She's 4 days younger than Ras Manjari. Her age is 12 years, 10 months and 26 days. Not sure if that. Her father's name is Sarvabhauna, Sarvabhanu. Her mother's name is Dubala. Husband's name is Vidambak. Her mother-in-law's name is Rama. Her service is providing water. Very important service, water. In Gaur Avatar, she is Jiva Goswami. Oh, yeah. And Jiva Goswami, as we were talking about just a few days ago, how amazing scholar and how he wrote hundreds and thousands of Sanskrit verses culminating into many, many books. And many of those books we are studying in order to get a better insight into the spiritual world. Especially he talks about Golok, Vrindavan in the spiritual world. Manjulali, Manjari, north of Sri Vishakha's Kunj is the grove named Leelananda Pada, where Sri Manjulali Manjari resides in topmost bliss. She is as qualified as Rupa Manjari due to her loving friendship with her. Her bodily complexion resembles molten gold. Her dress is colored like a Kimshuka flower, and another name of her is Leela Manjari. Her nature is medium contrary, Vama Madhya, and she serves Sri Radharani, knowing exactly what is on her mind. She's dedicated to the service of dressing her. Her age is 13 years, 6 months and 7 days. In Gaur-Lila, she is Sri Lokanath Goswami. And Lokanath Goswami was a little older than the 6 Goswamis. Kasturi Manjari. North of Sudevi's Kunj is Kasturiananda Kunj, where Kasturi Manjari always resides. Her body shines like pure gold. Her dress shines like glass. She's decorated with the finest ornaments. She renders sandal service. Her age is 13. Her nature is Vama Mridvi, contrary yet soft. In the age of Kali, she appears in Gaur Avatar as Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj. Oh yes, Kasturi Manjari. So he's the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita, a very, very important scripture. It is said that Bhagavad Gita is like the ABC of spiritual life. Where Bhagavad Gita leaves off, the Srimad Bhagavatam takes off. And that's like the graduate study. And then the postgraduate study is regarded to be Chaitanya Charitamrita. So we hope to, in the future, look at all these glorious scripture in some detail. So that's it. Those are the 7 other Manjaris. And this is something we're working on, Krishna's daily activities. We haven't quite got there because it's summarized, but it's also in a great deal of detail. In one book it's summarized, in another book is a lot of detail. And it just takes some time to go through all that. But the reason we want to even look at Krishna's daily activities is to, actually I might have it here. What happened? Why do we want to look at? Is that we are always absorbed in Krishna Leela. We're always thinking about what would Krishna be doing right now. This is when our sadhana improves, our practice of chanting improves, and we are absorbed in the chanting of the holy names, and we're constantly thinking about Krishna. And we can also constantly think about what is he doing during the day? What is he doing right now? What would he be doing right now? So it just helps us a little bit more in our life. Oh, what happened? So
you were going
weird.
back.
I know, but it's weird. So, for example, this is a really amazing quote. While considering the limb of smarana within the framework of the 9 kinds of devotional practice, in the Bhakti Sandarbha scripture, Jiva Goswami has stated the necessity of thinking of Sri Hari by quoting evidence from Garud Purana. Ekasmin api ati krante muhurte dhyana varjite dasyubhir mushtite neva yuktam akranditum brasham. One must weep for every moment that was not spent meditating on Sri Hari, just as one cries out after having been robbed of all one's possessions by a robber. Such a powerful quote. So these daily activities can help us constantly meditating on the Lord. So hopefully in the future we'll have a look at his daily activities. So I wanted to ask Madhusudan Prabhu, would you like to share your realizations, please, Prabhu?
Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, we can hear you.
Yeah, can you hear me? Okay, yeah. It's interesting to know, these different personalities that came during Gaura Leela. These are all these Manjaris, and Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami, and I know Lokanath Goswami. You did that pastime some time ago where he used to carry the deity around his neck, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, and then he would just make offerings, carrying the deities. But amazingly, even like Krishnadas Kaviraj, he was in a very, very ripe old age. He was almost blind, and when he wrote the Chaitanya Charitamrita, and he's saying how, he doesn't know how he's writing this actually, but obviously it's, by Krishna's mercy somehow he's writing it. And nice to know that you keep reviewing all these Sakhis, with Lalita Sakhi, Champalaki, and Chitra, and Tangavidya. And so even I'm getting to know now, when we go to Mayapur, we'll be able to know who is who on the right and the left. But it's good to know, where everybody gets to know who on this platform while we're unable to go to Mayapur. And we're able to have darshan here somehow, Krishna's mercy. And we are so blessed, actually. We don't realize, how lucky we are. And in these times of, this is an important time as well, Shraddha and all that. So during that time, we are thinking of the ancestors and broadening our knowledge and understanding of the Shraddha and different personalities and what we can offer. So we are enhancing and advancing our own spiritual life. So I'm really glad, that that you've done these sessions, and I'm beginning to know, you know, the different personalities. But it's when we realize how Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, without them, Vrindavan wouldn't be what it is today as well. And Vrindavan was very, very opulent before that as well. I know that the Mughals came attacking it, you know, they even came about 17, 18 times that they came and attacked Vrindavan and robbed it, and then he was completely to the grounds. Then he was resurrected again by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's and his instructions to the 6 Goswamis. Then he became opulent again. Then he was being attacked again by Aurangzeb and all the other Mughals who came at that time, which is unfortunate, you know. And Vaishnavism was almost like on its knees, but it's people like Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and they revived, they kept it going because they carried that message in their heart. And as Krishna says, you know, these Sanatan principles will never die. They never die. They may get covered up a little bit, and some people will carry, because it's karma, you know, in the Kali Yuga and different ages. And Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, you know, that I instructed this knowledge, this science of yoga to Vivaswan, sun god. And then Parampara started from there, and then it's revived again. Then he comes and gives the instructions to Arjuna. So Sanatan principles mean they're eternal principles. That is Sanatan Dharma. Sometimes, you know, get confused between Dharma and religion. Religion is like somebody following somebody, man-made, you know, some spiritual texts which were written, some philosophy that was manufactured or speculated on. And then, you know, so that's religious parts, you know, is man-made. But these are Sanatan principles, you know, and they don't get destroyed. They'll never disappear even, you know. There's always an element of it within this material world that will always be there, because it's eternal. You know, Krishna's pastimes are eternal. These gopis, these manjaris, they're all eternal living beings, you know, and we're also eternal in a way. It's just that we are covered up by Maya in our material body. So these manjaris are serving, and at times they do come, just as we come. Sometimes they ask, you know, why would God ever come here? And then they say, well, why can't God come, you know, or Krishna come to this planet? Because, well, why have we come here, you know? If we can come, then God can come as well. So like that, you know, we sometimes, our ego kind of doesn't allow us to understand. But, you know, these personalities have come. They have given the instructions. They have left so much glorification of Krishna. Karuna Banda was singing that beautiful bhajan, you know, and that's also people like Narottam Das Thakur, Krishna's Kabira. They've all written this in poetry forms. There are other personalities like Surdas. You know, he one of the Manjaris, he came, Surdas, and he also was blind from birth. And I know that he spent some time in Kashi and around there. And then he joined the Vallabhacharya's group and took initiation and came to Vrindavan with them. And then Surdas spent a lot of time spending his time and doing darshan and glorifying and writing his poetries and songs. And Surdas is, you know, he's very famous for all his dohas or some what they call it. And he was near the Govardhan Hill. There's a temple there where Srinathji temple. And, you know, he spent most of his time over there, you know, in the last few days of his life. And, you know, he was also one of the Manjaris. But they come, you know, they come and for our benefit, really. And they live a very austere life. You know, they set an example of what bhakti is and how bhakti is to be conducted. So we're fortunate if anybody else wants to make comments as well and experience, but it's always nice to increase our knowledge. You know, if we do go on to reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, there's wonderful pastimes in there of different personalities. You know, the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes are amazing as well. So thank you, Navi. Any more?
Any questions, any comments?
Prabhuji, I have a doubt.
Yes, what's your doubt?
How many Ashtasakis are there?
Astasaki is 8. Asta means 8 and Saki means friends. So, but each Astasaki, each of these 8 has millions of servants, millions. It's unlimited. They have so many servants and all they are doing is serving Radha and Krishna. They have so many manjaris, so many devotees of Radha and Krishna who are always to serve.
Prabhuji, I want to tell, I want to ask something that who is the 6th Saki?
But do you understand the answer? Do you understand the answer? There's only 8 Sakis, Asta Sakis, but they each have millions of servants. Is that understood?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So which one are you talking about?
6th one is asking.
6th one, which direction? Ganga Devi or Chitra?
Chitra.
Chitra. Right here. She'll have to explain herself. What do you want to know about Chitra?
Chitra.
How she worships Krishna? He's asking.
Okay, I can tell you. We can give you an idea. Let's just have a quick look. Let's see if we can get there. Oh yeah, might be easier. 1 second. Chitra. Now Chitra, she's the 4th Saki and she's 26 days younger than Radharani. She's 14 years and 7 months. And her father is the cousin of Vrishabhanu, the father of Radharani. And she's a very skillful sitar player. And she can play music on pots filled with varying degrees of water. She's very, very smart. In Mayapur, she's holding a box, usually containing some betel nut, pan. And she's a very good botanist. She knows how to look after gardens, plants, and she's a snake charmer. She makes nectarian drinks. She's very smart. Okay, unless there's any more questions, we can go to the Nishinga Kavach.
Quick question. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Pitambar, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. You know, something got me quite intrigued. Basically, you know, the Arsakis, we're talking about various personalities being incarnated. So would I be right in saying throughout the millions of universes they are, and throughout the millions of incarnations of Krishna as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, these Artsakya are constantly throughout the multiple universes taking incarnations as well?
Yes, absolutely right. They remain eternally in the spiritual world, but their expansions come into the material world. That's correct. So for example, we were talking about Lalita. Lalita continues to serve in the spiritual world, but she incarnates during Gaur Lila as it's who is it? Swarup Damodar, I believe it's either Swarup Damodar or it's Ramananda Roy, one of those two. So they would do that wherever Chaitanya is, they would incarnate.
You know, this is really interesting because so what that means is when Krishna said in the Bhagavad Gita, yada yada hi dharmasya, you know, he comes down, he's also referring to all these expansions of the gopis as well. It has to be.
Yeah. Same with Arjun in the battlefield, right? Who was fighting. He also has, you know, he can expand himself. These powerful souls can do that. And I'm
Yeah.
sure he can as well.
Krishna's whole entourage comes, you know. And he brings out his paraphernalia, his whole spiritual realm. There's so many, you know, because everything is fully conscious in the spiritual world. And, you know, we don't realize even the Surabhi cows, we just don't understand how can come. But certainly the closest of his associates always come before. You know, just like, you know, like we were saying earlier on, that any great personality, even prime minister or someone, you know, goes to another country, they send their security guards and all these different people, you know, his whole entourage is there. If they can do it, then when Krishna comes, he comes with his past, you know, different personalities as well. Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, it's becoming more and more fascinating because regardless of which you know, Arsaki, one of the Sakis you research, you'll never get to the bottom of it because even if you do, there's still 7 more. And God knows, Krishna knows how many other personalities, you know, divine personalities there are. You know, it's just incredible. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yes, unlimited. You're right. And actually, they are not different from Radha and Krishna. You know, nobody can become these Astasakhi through tapasya or even devotion because they are special personalities. They're in the same category as Radha and Krishna, pretty much.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very good. Good question, young man. Thank you. So let's